How's it going, everybody? Welcome to We Do Tech. Now, most of you guys probably know that I do love my RGB fans, and if you do watch my videos, you can probably already notice that I have some other fans in my PC at the moment, and those ones are from Cougar. So Cougar has recently brought out their new RGB fans. We have two of them here. We have the HPB and then also the FCB. So these are both RGB fans, and you either get them in single packs or then also in 3 packs as well, where you get the core box that controls all of the lighting. Now currently what I have here is the 3-pack with the HPB and then a single of the FCB. So I'm gonna go over all of the effects that I have, how they perform, and then also just show you guys all of the neat features that these fans do have. But our Cougar did also recently unveil their HPB, which is their new RGB fans. And instead of just having their RGB ring around the side, they do have it in the middle as well. Kind of like the Corsair LL fans that I usually have in my system. So I am really looking forward to checking those out when they are released, and if it's going to be a worthy competitor to the LL fans, because they are kind of expensive. So maybe that's going to be a cheaper option and still deliver the performance and then also the lighting of those fans. But with all of that being said, let's jump into our review of the HPB and then also the FCB right after this. Do you live in South Africa and want to get the best deals on all the latest gaming products? Well, RebelTech is the best place to check out. They have a huge variety of peripherals, PC components, laptops, and just everything else you would need. So go check out rebeltech.co.za to get the products you are looking for at a low price. So starting off with the pricing for these two fans, again you get them either in a single fan or in a 3-pack. So firstly for the HPB, that is retailing for around 1,200 Rand on RebelTech here in South Africa, or $70. For a single of the HPB is going for $299 on RebelTech, or $20. For the FCB, that is going for a single fan is going for 240 Rand you're on RebelTech here in South Africa, or around $17. I couldn't really find pricing for the 3-packs of these, but they should be around a bit cheaper than the current HPB sets. But I'm taking a look at what you get inside the box along with the fans. Firstly, for the FCB, you get 4 fan screws and then just the fan itself, nothing really more there. But as for the HPB, there you get the remote control for all of your lighting effects. You get the core box version 1 controller unit that you can connect all of your fans and your lighting connections to. You also get the core box power to Molex adapter, get 3 PWM to Molex adapters, 3 Cougar RGB connectors to 5 volts, and then also just the 3 HPB fans. Now, as for the build quality for these fans, they pretty much have the exact same design, except for the bearing they use and then also the different connections. Now they both have the same 9-blade design, but the HPB is using their hydrodynamic bearing that they state increases the fan's useful life, allows it to operate with less noise, and then also minimizes heat generation. As for the FCB, that one just uses their hydraulic bearing system. Now, as for the lighting, both of them have 18 LEDs inside their light ring, with kind of it being diffused a bit to get more of a seamless lighting glow, which honestly does help it look a lot better than just having the LEDs normally like that. Now again, with the 3-packs, you do get the core box included. If you go for the single pack, you do not get them. You have to go for the 3-pack to get that core box to control the lighting. These ones are kind of just an add-on unit, or you're gonna have to use an adapter to connect it to your 5-volt RGB header. But now, as for the core box, again, they control all of the lighting, but you do get 3 different core boxes depending on which pack you go for. Firstly, again, I have the HPB here, and the one I got with it was the core box version 1, which was developed with the first batch of HPB fans. But then you do also get the core box C, which comes with the FCB 3-pack, and then also the second and later on batches for the HPB. And then for the third one, that is a core box version 2, which comes along with the SPB, the new fans. Now, all of them look pretty much exactly the same. They all support up to 8 fans and 4 LED light strips that you can get as well from Cougar. But now the only core box that I have is the version 1, so I couldn't really compare them against each other. But the core box C and the core box version 2 apparently can connect to your motherboard, so you can use your motherboard's RGB software to control all of your lighting. You don't need any adapters. It connects straight to the motherboard, so you can control it a lot easier. Whereas with this one, you do get the remote and you have to change it through that. Now, as for connecting the fans, it's pretty straightforward. All you need to do for the HPB, it comes with a PWM connection and then also Cougar's RGB connection. So for the PWM, you should connect that to either your motherboard or to a fan hub for power. And then for the RGB header, that you either connect to the core box that you get alongside, or you do get an adapter that you're able to connect your RGB fans to your motherboard, so you can control it through the motherboard as well. Now, it is worth mentioning that if you do buy a single of the HPB, you do not get the core box, so you won't be able to connect it to that. But you do get an adapter that you can connect it to the RGB connection on the fan and just connect that to your motherboard, so you can control the lighting through that. So not really big deal. It's just if you want to use a multiple of them, it's going to be a bit more of a hassle. Now, as for the FCB, again, you get the single pack and the 3-pack. With the 3-pack, you do get the core box C that you can connect the fans to and control everything through that. It's going to power the fan and then also power the lighting. But whereas with the single FCB, that only comes out with 4 fan screws. You don't get anything else. So you can't really use a single one of these. You do not get an adapter to connect it to your motherboard. You will need to buy a 3-pack if you actually want to use them. These ones are kind of just add-on unit if you already have a core box to control all of your fans. Now then, as for performance wise, I compared both of these fans to my Corsair LL and HD fans. They are more expensive. They do on paper deliver a better performance, but in real world, I didn't really see that much difference between all of them. Now, for my test, I ran all of these fans at different RPM levels. Firstly at 800, 2000, 1200, 1500, and then also the max they can go, where I measured the temperatures and then also the fan noise. So from my results, I could see that there wasn't really that big of a difference between any of these fans. The Corsairs did perform a tiny bit better, but honestly, that could have been temperatures throughout the day changing, because I didn't have any air cons, so it could be a bit of human error there, or just the temperatures changing. As for noise levels, most of the times you couldn't even hear them. They were nice and silent. It was just when you actually cranked them up to their max that you were able to hear them. But that was just at extreme temperatures that you actually needed to crank them up fully to cool down the CPU. Now, as for all of the lighting effects, currently I have the fans set up here behind me, with the top one being the FCB and then the other 3 being the HPB 3-pack, all of them connected to the core box, which does work with a remote. So the remote is pretty simple. You get your on and off button. Next to that, you get your auto, which is just going to switch automatically between all of the different effects. You do also get your direction, which is just going to change the direction at which the effects are going to, clockwise or counterclockwise. Then you get your 10 different lighting effects that you can just go through. There's a bunch of them that you can try out. Then for the M button, that is the different styles of effects. Now there are a lot of different ones you can go through, so pretty much you'll just have to play around and see what you like. There's a bunch of them. Then next to that you get your speed at which the effect is going to go at. So they can go slow, can go nice and quick. You get 9 different levels of for the speed. After that you do also get your brightness level, so you get 5 different brightness levels that you can choose between. Next to that you get your static color, so you get a few different ones that you can choose by just tapping on the color what you want. And then just the last 2 effects is the last 2 buttons is just to switch between the different styles for the single colors. So they do have some static effects that apply to those ones as well. So you can just go through all of them and choose which ones you would like, and then just turn them off if you don't want anything on. Now if you don't want to use the remote, or you don't have a core box, if you bought like a single of the HPB, you can also connect them directly to the motherboard using the included adapter. Now this will only work with the HPB because it has that dedicated PWM 12 volt connection, whereas the FCB does not have that. Can connect them to your motherboard, but it's only going to light up the lighting, and it's not going to power the fan. Now before buying these fans and you want to use them like that, just make sure that your motherboard does have a 5 volt RGB header. Most of the motherboards does have a 12 volt but not a 5 volt, so definitely make sure about that. Cougar has a list of compatible motherboards, so just make sure about which ones you actually use. So just my final thoughts of Cougar's HPB and FCB fans. Lighting wise, they were really great. They weren't as bright as the Corsair LL fans, even though they do have 18 LEDs instead of Cougar on Corsair's 16. They aren't as bright, but it's not really going to be that big of an issue. It's only if you compare them side by side that you see that, and at night they still look really awesome, so that's just a mention. As for cooling, they performed really well, a lot better than what I thought they would actually perform. They were silent and just delivered a cool experience. The only thing that I didn't really like was that the HPB was only going up to 1500. I would have liked if we could go a bit higher to say 1700, just to get that tiny bit extra performance out. For the FCB, again, that's just locked at 1200, so that's kind of just where it's at. You can't do anything there. I would have liked if you could change that, but yeah, that's all you can do. And then just again, the remote, you guys know my thoughts. You can break it, it can get lost, but depending on which box you go for, it will work differently. And then just finally, for the core box itself, it is powered by Molex, and that is kind of the biggest thing that I didn't like. Honestly, most of people probably hate Molex just because it's such a pain, and not a lot of devices use Molex anymore. I would like if they could just power it through the SATA power. You do have normal SSDs or hard drives that you connect to SATA, so just use that. For my system, I had to go get a dedicated extra Molex power cable to actually power the unit. So that was just an extra cable that nothing else was connected to, just the core box on its own, which was really frustrating because nothing else uses Molex in my system. That was kind of annoying. SATA would have been a lot better in my opinion. But now that's pretty much it for my review of Cougar's HPB and also FCB current RGB fans. Again, their SPB is coming out later on, so hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on that one to show you guys the difference between, let's say, that one and then also the Corsair LL, because those ones are kind of competing against each other there. But otherwise, these ones, they perform really well. They're a great option if you want to go for something a bit more affordable than the Corsair fans or even some of the other fans out there. They do perform good enough. Lighting wise, they're excellent and just an all-out good option to go for. So with all of that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment like always. And if you wanted to buy any of these fans for yourself, just follow the links in the video description, where you can get it on RebelTech if you live in South Africa, or Amazon if you live overseas. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll check all of you next time. Cheers, guys.